Well, welcome back to Bonded by Bravo. I'm your host, Amy, joined with my incredible co-host, Jenna. And we are so excited to have a special guest with us today. We have none other than Bravo and Blaze, Jenny Blaze, with us today. Jenny, what's up?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. We're so excited. I feel like we've been online friends for a minute and we started chit-chatting about Diddy and things just popped off. Where is your head at? What have you been digging into? Because Jenna and I have been getting into the nitty-gritty, but curious, like, what is your latest theory? Like, what's the latest you heard in the last week?
I'm like so scared right now.
It's nuts.
I'm scared in so many different ways. Like, one, I'm scared that Diddy's gonna get out on bail, but I'm also scared if he stays in jail and something happens to him, like an Epstein situation. I'm scared of what is gonna come out, and not to make it about me, but I am scared that it's going to ruin my memories of old school hip hop, R&B, the 90s. Like, that's what I grew up on.
Did you see that meme that said, or like, I mean, there's a million of them that's like, I'm enjoying my music now before everyone gets canceled.
I know, but like, I can't even do that really after this has already come out, you know, it's hard.
It kind of begs the question, like, can you separate the art from the artist? And it feels like this scandal is just a little too dark that it's like, how do you detach the two?
And it's weird because if we think about Michael Jackson, dare I say it, he was kind of the first, I want to say.
Yeah.
And people have really separated that. And people have, I feel like there's like a line in the sand. You either believe the stories or you don't. There's been so many documentaries. And then I feel like it was R. Kelly. And R. Kelly, I mean, you know, there's no
I loved Ignition.
Oh my God.
I don't even think radio stations play his music anymore.
That's interesting.
I did see something, and this could be totally false, so please don't take anything I say.
Yeah, everything here is allegedly.
Allegedly.
I did hear that all of the royalties for R. Kelly's music goes to his victims, which I don't know if that's true. If that's true, I'm like definitely going to listen.
That's a win,
right?
But is it because are people not listening? But then are people not listening or being played because of the situation? That's also interesting.
And if he is getting the money, you don't want to listen, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. I went down a rabbit hole just a while ago because TikTok is a wild place. And somebody was saying what happened with Jamie Foxx. Do you remember Jamie Foxx? Yes. This is all alleged.
He was in a concussion or not concussion.
He was in a coma.
Recent. This is recent.
Jamie Foxx, I think it was last year, a year and a half ago, was in a coma. And this person on TikTok said that this was because he called the feds on Diddy. And Diddy found out and tried to get rid of him.
What? How did this is the thing about TikTok though? Like, where does this start? How do they get this information to start it on TikTok or even Reddit?
Yeah, Jaguar Wright starts.
Jaguar Wright. I know. Jaguar Wright. Is she really?
She is. Yeah.
We should have known. How did we not know that?
Yeah. When I was on her Wikipedia page last night after I started to see the stuff with Piers Morgan, and Piers Morgan, for him to issue a statement / apology is a really big deal because his show is called
Murdoch.
Yeah, and his show is called Uncensored.
That's
it totally it negates the entire title of the show.
And it's also like, what did Jay-Z and Beyonce threaten him with? What did they threaten him with?
I know. I'm so afraid to even say anything about Beyonce because that beehive is
I want to block her.
But it's I mean, when you go down the rabbit holes of the TikTok and what people are saying. I mean, when you look at the pictures of people associated with Diddy and what Jaguar Wright's been saying about Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's not good.
What has she exactly been saying? Like, I didn't see the first part of the interview with Piers Morgan. Did either of you see what was said? That like made him respond with an apology?
You want to take this?
For one, I believe she said that they were involved in the death of Aaliyah, and that's pretty big.
That's major.
And then what else? There was something else that they took out as well. I forgot, but I thought the Aaliyah thing was the biggest one.
Damn, and that's big.
And if you see anything that Jaguar Wright says, she's basically saying that Jay-Z is setting up Diddy for this because he's the ultimate kingpin of the music industry. Like, if we're thinking about this in mob mentality, Jay-Z's the ultimate mob boss. And then these people filter out around him. And he's basically saying that Diddy is one of the first to get caught. The other thing that was interesting was how Bruce Busby, what's his name? Bruce Busby?
Tony
Busby was saying how people are starting to pay out for these lawsuits, the hush money. And that means, like, are we never? Yeah, and does that mean we're never going to know who these people are, and they can just continue?
Yeah, I asked some people about this, and I'm actually interviewing an attorney on Friday to talk about this specifically. But apparently, so in the legal system, you have civil cases, you have criminal cases. The attorney sent out civil demand letters to these people who committed these crimes and said, and this is because my question was, this sounds like blackmail. Like a demand letter sounds like blackmail. Yeah. But I guess apparently the demand letters, and I Googled this and I asked AI, I'm like, what is the difference? And I guess it's the tone. The tone is the only difference.
Wow, that's nuanced.
Yeah, very crazy, right? But they basically say, you can give us this money and then we'll close this. Otherwise, if you don't, then we'll have to go to trial. And in trial, we're going to have to disclose all the evidence. And that's public information. So the hush money is to pay off the victim from taking it further in civil, like a civil case. But the crime still happened. And that hush money or whatever, that civil case that gets closed brings the attention to prosecutors. And so just like Cassie, they settled out of court. She sent a demand letter, they settled, and then Diddy still got charged for the crimes.
But will we ever get, like, they could easily put NDAs on all of those settlements and we'll never get to see who made those settlements, right? Like, that's quite possible that we'll never get.
But I don't think NDAs apply when you're called to testify in court.
But don't you think all of these people, these 120 cases, are just going to pay the money? Like,
I think a lot of them are going to pay money, but I also think, hopefully, and I'm going to ask this attorney on Friday, that they're also charged criminally because they should be.
Yeah.
So actually, this is good for the victims then, because then they wouldn't have to go to trial and bear it all and be tested, like get questioned, and then they still get the payout. And then on the criminal end, then that means the names can still come out in that case. But then the victim is okay to kind of keep their lives moving, so to speak.
I'm just wondering if they will just get, like, will these go to trial?
I hope so. They should.
Yeah.
If not, I mean, they might not if they take like a plea bargain or whatever, and they just do a guilty, whatever. I'll take, X amount of years in jail.
And the other thing that I saw was last week, Diddy is appealing for the third time to get out of jail until his trial time, and his judge was changed. Did you see this?
I did see that. Why was the judge changed?
I asked this attorney about this that I'm interviewing on Friday, and I didn't understand. That's why I was like, I think we need an interview, because it was like his short answer was the other judge couldn't do a speedy trial. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. So I'm asking him on Friday.
To me, that I'm like, is this some corruption stuff? Like, I'm just speculating. Like, is this corrupt? Like, is this what's happening? I mean, I'm sure everyone knows that the mayor of New York was just indicted, and people are saying that the mayor of New York and his whole entire cabinet was indicted, and that this is equally aligned to what's going on with Diddy. Like, people are saying it's the same.
Well, politicians have been named on the list of people. I mean, we know that they've attended Diddy parties, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're guilty of a crime just for attending, but I don't know. And there's even like royalty on that list.
Who were some of your theories? Jenna and I speculated on people that we think might be named. Where from your research and things that you've heard, what are some theories you have on people that you might see, that we might see on these civil cases?
Well, unfortunately, this is sad, but Bieber and Usher, I think Diddy may have something on them as adults, but we know, I mean, we can assume that Diddy had groomed them and abused them as children, which is just, it's like now we're in this whole situation, like we're mixing almost like Menendez brothers type of stuff. Like, are they still victims or are they actually predators? So those,
and if you think about Justin Bieber, he's still young. So like, you know, he was only in his 20s a couple years ago. I don't know. I mean, he might even still. So
is he even 30? I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, he's still a child. Like at 25 years old, that to me is like, up until you're about 25, you're still a baby.
And also Diddy was drugging people, getting them intoxicated and filming them. Like, it's one thing, maybe they were in this very abusive situation where they felt they had to go through with something, but then knowing that Diddy recorded them afterwards, that's like blackmail hanging over them, where he has all the power and control over them. He can make them do whatever he wants them to do, pretty much. And
did you hear
I think there's more on the list as well, though.
Did you hear about the video that's being shopped of a high profile celebrity? Any thoughts on who that might be?
I heard people are speculating it's Bieber, which again is sad because we don't know.
Oh my God, that like makes me sick to my stomach.
He's 30 years old.
Yeah.
So he's just 30.
Remember,
what are they saying is in the video?
Oh, they haven't said that part yet, at least from what I've seen. I don't even know if I want to know.
Yeah.
I think I would like to know the date first.
Yeah.
To know how old he is before anything.
Let's not forget, there was like a good number of years there where Justin was just fucked up.
Yeah.
No, and he said that like he had an addiction problem.
Yeah.
He was been crying out to the world for years.
Yeah. I mean, there's the interviews of him crying to Billie Eilish. It was almost like those years had caught up with him right in that interview. And he just like, it just broke him.
Oh, that gives me, it's just like you want to each of your points, like this is, I think this is so much darker than like we're starting to wrap our heads around it, but this just seems like it goes back and back. Allie Carter, I don't know.
Generational.
And there's someone named Allie Carter who was at 15 put into prostitution. She lived in foster care and said that she was, you know, involved in all of this and was pimped out to Diddy and his team and other people. And basically Diddy then pimped her out to people after that. And there were these underground tunnels at Diddy's house that they talked about in the FBI, like what they found. Which is
like, for what reason do you need a tunnel under your home? Like, there's extravagant and then there's fucking weird.
I mean, I kind of want like a bunker someday in case like the world is ending, but like not like to go anywhere. I just want to like hide.
Yeah, but they're saying these tunnels were like miles long and connected, and
you have the Playboy Mansion, which we know now. Ooh. Hefner. I don't know if you guys have done a deep dive since he's died.
A little bit. There was that show that was on that I watched, that docuseries.
I got obsessed with it for a little bit because I was so angry. Whole time, because he got away with it. The whole time he was trafficking people, he was abusing them, he was controlling them, he was also videotaping them. All the things that they're saying, all the things they're saying about Diddy, the butlers passing around drugs in a fanny pack or on a platter. That's exactly what was going on at Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion, where people were getting raped. People were getting raped. And
can you not say
there was a lot of,
can we not say that? I didn't know that.
I don't know. I just I don't like saying that word.
Okay, fair. No, that's fair.
But Yeah, so all the same types of accusations, like it's almost like a playbook, which is sick because
so sick.
I think there's like pockets of rich people and powerful people who are doing things like this.
Hollywood is dark.
Yeah.
Hollywood is dark.
Yeah. It's wow. Wow. Well, I think there's going to be more to come. Check out Bravo and Blaze's episode on Friday. You're going to have an attorney on to talk more about the Diddy case. Let's lighten it up a little, ladies, shall we?
Little Bravo, shall we?
I know. We should talk about some Bravo, right? I know that. I know we're like schwitzing because it's like it's a very hard segue. I think this is going to be in the news for the next years to come. There's going to be more coming out. We're going to be talking about it. But let's lighten it up, shall we? What should we talk about? Let's see. We got Bravo. Yeah, we have a lot of Bravo to talk.
What right now is your favorite franchise that you're watching?
I have a special connection to Salt Lake City.
Okay.
I feel like it revived my passion for Housewives.
Okay.
After so many years, because I've watched for decades. Since before Housewives, I watched Bravo. So it was getting kind of dull. I'm like, I'm not really that into it.
But you're like watching with one eye open, like,
yeah. I was like, I'm not really paying attention. You know, it's in the background or whatever. But when Salt Lake City started, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like there's Mormons. I love like the religious aspect of it. There's a female pastor, Christian pastor. I was like so hyped, right? I'm like, yay, diversity and la la la. But then I Googled all the cast before the show even started, and literally I shut my laptop right away. I was like, no way.
Why?
Mary Cosby, you Google her even before the show started. There are so many allegations that are against her church, against her, like she married her step grandfather, and there's questions around her grandmother's will. Her grandmother's body was exhumed at one point. They haven't even said that on the show yet. Like it's wild. My
God. Wasn't she?
It takes a lot to get a body exhumed.
Yeah, they did that.
And wasn't she like accused of like cult leadership in her church? They talked about that a little in season 1, I think.
Yeah.
And where was the money going?
Yeah. I mean, so that's my favorite.
How do you feel about her right now?
So that's the thing. I was like so terrified of Mary Cosby the whole season 1. I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to ever get on her bad side. Like she's going to come after me. And then her season 2 tagline was, if you come for me, I will send Jesus after you. And I'm like, Jesus,
don't bring the Lord's name into this.
But it's wild because watching her on the show as a viewer, I've learned to absolutely love watching her. That's not to say I agree with who she is as a person, but entertainment wise, I love watching Mary Cosby. She makes me laugh so hard, but I'm also still scared of her.
I hate the fat shaming. And so for me, that like turns her just completely off for me.
Oh, she's so problematic. She does so many things wrong.
And it's like the fat shaming really gets under my skin that I can't like see her in like a funny light anymore.
But she gives like the old grandma vibes where she says all the things your like Italian grandmother shouldn't say.
And she's like she's a foreigner
out loud, and you're like, Grandmom.
Yeah.
Stop.
So it's
true.
I like that you said that because I do feel like I personally give Mary Cosby a little bit of a pass because I feel like this is like, oh my gosh, this is reminding me of Diddy. Let's not forget that Mary Cosby grew up in a cult. Okay.
Right.
She was isolated. She said she's a loner. She doesn't have friends. I think this show was the first time she's ever really stepped outside of her church community.
You're probably right.
She's socially awkward.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even know, but no one's ever checked her either because she's been the pastor's daughter or the pastor, you know? And it's like, you grow up in that environment. This is the outcome, I guess. You get people who are tone deaf and don't even realize that they're saying the most horrendous things to people on television.
That's such a good take on Mary because you want there's something about her that I want to like, because some of the comments you're like, if you said this in a different way, it could be funny and you could be like the sarcastic, funny friend, but she does have this social awkwardness about her. And that's so interesting. You're saying that. The one thing about Mary that drives me insane is whenever they cut to her house.
Oh, the clutter is like such chaos.
The clutter.
If you have the slightest case of OCD, that house would throw you into
it's all I can focus on every time they cut to her house in a scene this week, and all I was looking at was the 7 cups on her nightstand.
Oh God, I didn't even know.
There were 7 cups.
Oh, yeah,
that's all I could look at, and you just wanted to go in. I just wanted to fly there, get in there, and start moving things around, because
take the cup downstairs. Just
one.
But doesn't that also make you guys look at Mary Cosby in a certain way too? Like that's a reflection of like her mental state. I feel like for me, I can't do things until like things are in order in my bedroom. I make my bed every day.
Yes, same.
I have the same routine, like empty the dishwasher, like open the blinds. It's the same routine. So to see someone like that, it makes me think like, what is going on inside?
This is good. This is a nice practice in empathy.
It actually is. What do you think?
I feel better now.
No, but I think that's such a good take on Mary. Like thinking that she might not have ever had friends outside of her church. It makes you feel a little, and it seems for some reason her and Angie are connecting. Like it seems like she's trying. I think
she's trying to escape.
Yeah.
Her cult.
Yeah, because we know that it's happening. What are your thoughts on Bronwyn, the new girl?
I was going to say, just all the new girls in general. I guess, what are there, 2 or 3 of them now?
There's like 2.5 kind
of. Yeah, there is 2. Because
I'm like, who's the other one?
Maylee is, she's really pretty. She's the one that's friends with Whitney. They went to college together. Okay, so 2.5, maybe not even 2.5.
Not I
mean, I was gonna say she's dark hair, but they literally like all have dark hair.
I know.
That doesn't really.
She's like a model, a mom. Who's she married
to?
She wears
that like she was wearing that jacket and pantsuit that was like kind of giving Versace a little bit. I don't know.
I'm just gonna Google.
Was it pink or red? It was like a bright
it was like this
color,
like black and gold at the one that I'm thinking of. Okay, well maybe Google her.
Yeah, I just Googled.
Yeah, we haven't really got that much of her. We've got a lot of Brownwind and a lot of Brownwind. I can't help myself, but ever since Vicky Gunvalson called Bronwyn Brownwind, that's like all I can think of. So
I said to Jenna, I was like, I did not know the Bronwyn was such a popular name.
Yeah, what the hell?
2 of them.
You know too?
East Coasters.
How are you liking her?
Okay, so I thought she was gonna be kind of a dud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based on, well, for one, before the season even started, someone I think she posted a picture of herself in like a Vogue dress that was similar to like something Jen Shah wore back in the day. And someone wrote like, "You're never going to be Jen Shah, blah, blah, blah," whatever. And she actually responded to that, like quote tweeted it and was like, "Yeah, I actually pay my designers and can afford it," or I don't know, something. And like, what I took from that was, okay, this woman is very sensitive about fashion. And she's wants us to know how rich she is.
And Christian Sirianni did vouch for her on Watch What Happens Live and said none of the housewives pay except for Bronwyn, and has been paying for couture for years.
Before.
So when the season started, I didn't think that she was going to be that great, but I'm actually kind of liking her. And I looked at her. I've been looking at her fashion. I think I'm a fan for the most part. Not everything's a 100% hit for me, but
I just want to know, Jenny,
do like it.
Like where she's in Salt Lake, where is she wearing her leopard outfit?
Yeah, that one is that's a hibachi for me.
I thought that's a hibachi. Hibachi or Versace.
That's hibachi. We can get rid of that one.
Yeah. When I saw her husband in this week's episode, I was like, Grandpa.
I know.
The age difference, want to not be judgmental, but
I'm judging. I can't help but judge.
I was like that. I mean, like everyone thinks you're walking around with your granddad or your dad, someone who is not your husband. And then she made a joke about having sex with someone with gout, and I puked in my mouth.
The gout thing was too much. I was like, this is too much. Like, because he's helping her kid. Yeah.
Don't say it. I know. Like, all we all think about is a foot and
like swollen. Oh my God. Stop. Too much.
Sweats.
Too much. Yes. And she's like, ew. That was not for me. We also had the Donny Osmond cousin something with the girl.
Brittany, but I call her Brittany.
As you should. As we all should.
That's how she spells her name, in my opinion. But
I'm like, not into her at all. Like, she seems so thirsty to want to be on this show. I mean, him blowing up her spot, I think he direct messaged Bravo and Cocktails. I'm not sure. That's just what it looked like when they had reposted it. That looked like he went on and direct message and was like, here's the tea on this situation, and totally blew up her spot.
Yeah. He's playing the game.
He's playing the game. He's more of a housewife, frankly, than she is right now.
Than Mile or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Whose name we can't remember.
What is her name?
Scene, I just saw a picture of her and there wasn't one part of her that looked familiar for me, but maybe we'll get there. The whole scene at the basketball game where Angie's sitting behind her talking about her boyfriend hitting girls in the DMs, and then she's like, are you guys talking about me? And Angie's like, what do you mean, talking about you? Angie, I can't believe she got the center snowflake this year. She cried too. She's one of a kind, man.
One of a kind.
Yeah. And her wanting to get the Giannis to take a picture with her and him not even acknowledging her also made me giggle. It was perfect.
That was great. That was so great.
I feel like we're ramping up for possibly, like, what are our thoughts on the season so far? I don't think there's anything. Yeah.
I feel like this Alibaba thing could be probably the next episode or two, because because Whitney's not gonna be chill about this at all.
Have you guys seen on social media the news with Whitney? Her MLM. Apparently they had like some big event somewhere or a conference. Actually, this person said they were making money, like a lot good money in the beginning. And then when this conference was scheduled, they bought tickets for it. They booked their flights and hotels, and 6 days before the event, it was canceled. They said they're going to reschedule it to, like, I don't know, January or something. Yep. And they're like, well, we want a refund on our tickets. And they're like, here's some credit to Whitney Rose Beauty or whatever it's called.
No.
Imagine. Yeah. And that's
so this person went off. Yeah.
So I didn't do a deep dive on this, so I wasn't actually really sure if all that was going on there.
This is why I tell you, TikTok needs to be your form of social media. It will change your life.
Say, when I heard that Whitney was involved, like, there was not a part of me that was like, oh my God. Like, it felt like, oh my God, the shoe really fits.
There were rumors about
so much sense to me.
Yeah, there were rumors about that before this even happened.
Yeah.
Like season
Jenny,
one,
I think. And I have a question, because right when this was happening on TikTok, she put out a post about her daughter being in the hospital. And I'm like, is she trying to distract from what's happening on TikTok by saying like, oh, my daughter is sick, etc.? I mean, that would be a far reach, but
it was giving Whitney from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in the ICU.
That's exactly what I thought when Amy just started saying that. I was like, it's giving other Mormon Whitney.
Yeah.
100%. It was kind of nuts, but I guess we'll see.
I do hope Bobby Rose gets better. If she's,
I think
we
she's
do.
Better.
Okay, yeah, and I would love to see how this Alibaba thing plays out, because nothing like bringing Alibaba into the mix.
And when Heather said, she's like, not Alibaba, that is the kiss of death for retail. I was like, oh no.
But she's so right. And that's the shadiest comment. And like, what a good comment, that it was perfect.
Wait, are you guys Heather Gay fans?
Yeah, I am.
She definitely is. I don't.
It's okay.
I can't. I don't know. I really don't. Ever since the black eye incident, I just am like, something is so off about you.
Thank God you see that.
Yeah, I do. And like, there's other, like that whole season, the way she would respond to certain things when she was asked questions, her answers were always like really bizarre and like kind of always like she was always like contradicting herself, sort of. And so that has like really, I just don't have a strong opinion on her, frankly, one way or the other, which I think is being indifferent about a housewife, I think is worse than hating a housewife.
You think so? Wait, yeah, I need to know why.
Because I think that means I'm not thinking about you at all.
Oh, like, it's bad for them.
Yeah, like I think it's bad for them.
Non-factor.
Like, I'm like, yeah, like I'm not emoting towards you at all. And that's not good if you want to have like longevity as a housewife, you know?
So Jenny, when we're talking about that, we love to ask when we have guests who your top 5 housewives are. And if you had to tell us, because it tells you a lot about a person.
Oh, true.
If you had to, give us your top 5.
And if 5 is too many, you could even do 3.
5 is not too
many. I think, I don't know, you guys might not like this, but my number 1 is Lisa Barlow.
Oh, you know what? I actually just said last week, I was like, she seems like someone I really shouldn't like, because just like based on who I normally like. Yeah. And I just really fuck with her because I think Lisa is just gonna Lisa.
Yeah, I like that about her. And I think she is savvy. I think she uses a lot of critical thinking, unlike some of the other housewives we see. And I love.
Oh my God.
I was like watching Amy's reaction when I say anything she doesn't agree with.
Critical thinking?
You don't like her critical thinking?
Wait, hold on. Who are the others? I'm so curious.
Okay, wait. Lisa Barlow. We're doing all franchises?
Yeah.
And old and new. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, old and new? Like Luann de Lesseps.
Okay.
Sonia Morgan.
Classic. Yeah, Sonia's always up there.
She's
for entertainment fact. I mean, the old school OGs of New York. That, I mean, it's you can't. You can't.
So unmatched. Wow. I love Kiki Barth from Miami. She's not a full-time yet, but she really needs to be.
Okay.
Kiki, I think we said this last season, Jen, that Kiki was low-key one of the top. Do you remember we said this?
Yeah. She's amazing.
Her snark is off, and her shade is off the charts.
So
it's
funny.
So good.
Yeah.
She's like shamelessly, like unapologetic of who
she's
she
underrated
is.
too. She's
underrated
you said her.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. How do you feel about Jersey? Because Jersey is the one that Jenna and I, we're both from Philly, so we feel closest in terms of like, there are aunts, there are cousins, there are sisters.
Like the Italian, like the sprinkle cookies hit home.
Yeah, no, I felt that too because I actually lived in Jersey near them when they first started their season. So I'm like, oh my God, like I would drive by Franklin Lakes all the time. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, what if I run into them? Yeah. So I get that same feeling with them, but I actually quit watching after.
Wow.
You know what? Good for you because it got so toxic.
That's why I quit.
You were ahead of the curve because I ended up stopping it anyway. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's so weird because I quit right before Scandal happened. I interviewed Margaret Josephs, who was, it was the first time I ever interviewed a housewife. And it was because she called Jennifer Aiden a drug addict. And I'm a cannabis advocate. So I'm like, oh, hell no, we're not going to do that today. So I brought her on to, you know, set the record straight. And she, you know, like apologized, whatever. It was very like amicable. I have no hard feelings towards Margaret, nothing like that. But after I did that interview, somebody who followed me for years, I have their full legal name, their home address. They like have like trauma dumped on me before. They didn't even listen to the interview and just went off because I interviewed Margaret and they don't like Margaret.
See, that's the thing with Jersey. It's too decisive.
Yeah. They started talking about my children. They're like saying my daughter was like doing drugs or something on Twitter. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Too dark. Jersey's too dark. Yeah. Jersey, it needed to take a beat for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
You don't watch Beverly Hills?
I mean, like I'll like watch it sometimes if it's on, but I don't like I'm not like.
Well, speaking of Southern California, how are you feeling about OC this season?
I am liking OC this season.
Me
I
too.
think it's like saving. It has been saving the Bravo lineup until to date, and now it's almost like we're overwhelmed with too much because now we have
so much.
New York, and Salt Lake on top of OC, which this season of OC, not to go back to Diddy, but like there's like that blackmail piece of it that I'm like, this is wild. This is on television. It's the audacity for me that like disturbs me the most when it comes to Scandival, when it comes to Diddy or John Jansen. I'm like,
John Jansen can.
Seeing him in the confessional, I was like, did we ask for this? We did not ask for this.
I screamed. I was so mad.
So it's Shannon's birthday in this episode. And Alexis has the audacity to send her flowers.
I know.
Wishing her well, saying, I hope God blesses you for the next year. Bitch, you're trying to take my money and my man. Like, you took my man. Now you're like suing me. I could not.
Wild.
This episode drove me insane. And then she's crying at the end of it.
Yes.
She's not invited to her birthday.
And
suing her.
Her response to like, when Katie and Jen were telling her, like, or whenever she was reading the text message, her response to me felt like, I was like, oh my God, the lack of awareness about yourself is like really unhinged. And she's like getting up and she's like, I don't want to be around these women anymore. I guess off the bailout. And I am not joking when I said, yes, please, this is what we're asking for. But apparently the Bravo execs, regardless of how we're all feeling about her, I guess they're asking for her back.
I think she thinks because she's not the one suing that she's not involved. I think she thinks because Johnny J is the one doing it. But when she goes in her confessionals and she's talking about Johnny J and her as a we, then what's the difference? Why would you think you would be invited to this? And how could you be crying? Like, you're crying. And then Tamra comes in with her little comment of like, can't Shannon get over it already? Tamra, you're kidding, right? You can't be
Where
serious.
Do you stand on Tamra?
I mean, obviously Tamra's wild this season. I don't agree with her actions.
Yeah.
However, I feel like Tamra is kind of like an actress. Like she knows this game. She knows the assignment. She knows the role. She's willing to let Teddy push her into the pool and sit there and finish the game soaking wet. I would have been like, deuces, I'm out. Like, who does that?
Do you think playing the game to that extent, though, takes away a little bit from the... I know that we all know it's produced, but like takes a little bit away from like the reality part of it. Like I actually think her playing the game so well. This is what I thought about Lala and Vanderpump Rules last season. Like they get so like, okay, cameras are up. Let's play the game. Like we know how to do this. We're going to bring up conversations that were done off air. Like let's get dirty. And then we see it, we feel it because they're not actually, these aren't really some, I feel like, especially for maybe hopefully for Tamra, that some of this isn't exactly how she's feeling, but she like amped it up because she was like, oh, I think I know how the audience is going to feel about Shannon getting the DUI. I saw the stuff online when it all happened. Let me play to that narrative. But now it's like, actually, we've kind of moved on from that place. Yeah. But she went in on it. And now we're like, fuck you, Tamra.
Let's not forget that Tamra's evolution as a housewife is that she has become just a housewife to now a producer, a podcast host, a content creator. Yeah. She is essentially the same as us. So she knows how to play
what people want.
Like she knows, she knows behind the scenes.
And she's doing the same thing to Jen now. She's like, okay, I'm over the Shannon thing. Let me move on to my next victim, Jen. Let me get all buddy with Jen and then do the same thing to Jen. And then having the gall to walk into that lunch and just like throw an apology at Jen.
Oh,
just so casually. Like, I know we need to talk about it, but I'm sorry. You're sorry after you just like blew up somebody's entire dinner. And And Jen's just supposed to sit there and be like, yeah, okay, sure, this works. Yeah, that's fine.
It's so Tamra's MO too, to blow up, have a few martinis, blow up, and then do the apology tour the next day or whatever. And like seeing Eddie's response, like at that dinner when she storms off, the fact that he didn't even get her like, I feel like he didn't even want to be at that dinner anyway, but she convinced him like, hey, you have to film with me basically. But he was not also like,
he didn't,
he was checked out.
Maybe I'm in the wrong for this. And I'm not saying I'm a Ryan fan, but like, I'm just like not that mad about gambling.
I'm not mad at him at all.
And being a bookie or being connected to a bookie. I'm like, I mean, that was other people choosing to fuck around with their money. That's just, it's not getting to me. It just doesn't bother me.
I think
maybe it
bother me either.
I'm like, okay, keep gambling. Like,
I'm like, it looks like you're having fun.
Yeah.
But I do think Ryan is shady in a lot of other ways. Like, I think Ryan doesn't give me like good guy vibes.
No, I don't.
But
that's also that.
Jen's business,
that's her
business.
That
I think will probably come out regardless. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's. Yeah, I feel like
it's just getting on someone for a gambling scandal or like a bookie, or being close to a bookie. That's just like not the hill I'm dying on.
Yeah, fair.
Not at all.
Should we move on to Roni? I mean, Roni has been we're 2 episodes in. Where's our head at?
I think Brynn is a pot stirrer. I think she's jealous or like concerned about everyone getting close, that she's sort of manipulating the situation a bit. Go ahead. I'm like, someone.
I don't know how to feel about the new cast. I'm like not really into it. And I haven't said this yet publicly.
An exclusive.
Yeah, this is exclusive. It's not that big of a deal. But one of my bridesmaids at my wedding is friends with one of the housewives.
Okay.
Ooh. Can we guess?
I'm not friends with this person anymore. And I know like how they roll. So I feel weird watching the show, knowing like it's too close, I feel
Got it.
And wait, did I say who the housewife is?
No.
Okay, it's Sai. But like watching Sai, I feel like she's pulling a Tamra, but like doing it right out the gate as a rookie. So it's like hard for me to watch.
I feel that way about Brynn. I feel like last season she brought us character Brynn. Like, this is who I am. This is who I'm introducing you to. I like to flirt. I'm a good time gal. I know how to have fun. And it's like if you were watching a TV show, like that's how you're introduced the first season. And the second season, you'd like to see some character development and you'd like to see another part of that person. And I just feel like we're not getting that other part of the person. Like, is there more depth? Is there more to her than just this? Instead,
she amped it up so far. She just like played. She's just playing. And I said this on the podcast last week, but like, to me, it feels like she just turned up the dial on what we saw of her last year, because there was like response and there were memes and people could make jokes about it or whatever. And it like kind of made her a star, so to speak, in the Bravo world. But I feel like, this year we're just like not getting more of that. But the thing that's also weird is like she's spoken out about how she doesn't want that to be her narrative. But it's like, okay, well then stop making the little daddy jokes all the time.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Or Satan's fourth wife or whatever the heck.
That one I thought was funny.
I don't like how she said something to Erin about taking care of her husband while she wasn't there.
Yeah. I don't like those type of jokes. Yeah. I don't like the dating your dad thing. Like, it's funny, I guess, like
for a second. For
a second, but she's like hanging on to it too long. And then also the gay baiting. I don't know if it is technically gay baiting, but the way she like flirts with Jenna, and then she's like, "Oh, watch out, Jenna! There's a new lesbian in town, and I'm interested." Like,
we talked about that last week.
It feels very theatrical and unnecessary.
Yes, theatrical. That's the word. That's what Brynn is giving so far this season for me. I mean, we're only 2 episodes in,
but it's funny because last season she was a favorite, and I think people are basically saying like, we like the idea of who you were, but like you can give us more. You can tell us who you really are without, there's going to be, I mean, we're already seeing it. Like, people are coming for her already, and it's only episode 2.
And I don't think it gets better either, because everyone has said when they're asked, including Jenna Lyons on Watch What Happens Live, who's going to have the most to answer for at the reunion, and everyone is saying Brynn. So I don't. This is going to be probably a little bit of a rough season. She should hopefully turn off her comments.
You know what it's giving for me is Leah McSweeney vibes. Remember how loved she was her first season?
I hated her from the second I saw her.
I loved her the first season.
But her second season, I was like, please stop. This is torture.
Yeah. That's actually such a good comparison.
Maybe there's a curse.
What are our thoughts on size?
Therapy, healing journey. I mean, look, I think she's probably new into the therapy and her journey, so
I don't think she's even going. I don't think she is going. Maybe she's going. I don't know, but I don't think she's taking it seriously. If she is doing it, it's probably for appearances.
I think it's also hard to
know too much about her.
So. Yeah, that's true.
Any tea you can spill? Any tea you can spill?
To be on a healing journey, though, and be filming like a reality show, like those two things, I feel like don't really
contradict each other.
Yeah,
I want to hear this.
You can use the reality show as a way to heal, as a way to look at yourself, reflect on your behavior, and think like, how can I improve and try to be better going forward? But not everyone does that. The tea that I heard, and I don't know if this is true. This is on social media, so I didn't.
Allegedly.
This is all alleged, and I think I saw it on like Instagram or something. But the rumor is that Sai's husband was married when they got together.
I think we saw that. Yeah.
Oh, you guys heard that too?
Yeah.
Why aren't we talking about that?
Well, I think she.
I mean, like on the show.
Wraps. That's funny because I think they were implying that. Speaking of marriages, Aaron with the
selling the Bitcoin. That's bad.
So what happened was, if for anybody who didn't see the episode, Erin alluded to her husband betraying her last week. And this week she spills the beans. Her and Abe go to dinner and she says, you sold our Bitcoin without me knowing, when I thought that we were out of debt. And apparently he did it years before that without telling her.
See, I watched it and I didn't even know this. That's how uninterested I am in this show. Wait, so he sold Bitcoin and
he sold his Bitcoin,
and now they're in debt?
And it was like the time that he sold it was not at a good time either. But I guess there was enough there that he needed to get that money fast and pay off some other debt.
So like their net worth went down a little bit.
Well, she thought that she was going to log in and that the Bitcoin money would have been perfect. Like, okay, we could pay off the mortgage now. Ooh. And she went in and she was like, I guess we can't pay off the mortgage now.
That's pretty bad.
That's bad.
I mean, at least to keep it from your partner. That's
for years.
Years. Yeah. That's the part for me. Like that is like, I feel like that could be marriage ending.
Yeah, that is.
I bet it is. I mean, think about so many ones that we've seen even on the show. Like the finances can really tear them apart.
Oh, yeah.
100%. To me, this shows a crack in the foundation, and I wonder what else we're going to see play out throughout the rest of the season with them.
Now I definitely think
DJ set. So
wait, what? He DJs?
Well. Exactly.
Wait, he does?
Another guy DJing, yeah. Not that the guys can't, but like the middle-aged men just picking up DJing. I just feel like, you know what? Justice for James Kennedy. Because he's been out here doing it for years, started from the ground up, doing the small little like
James Kennedy isn't a middle-aged man. It's way more for these husbands and like the.
I would love actually to.
Kyle Cooks
if anyone gets an interview with James Kennedy, I need someone to ask him like, where does he think of all of this?
James Kennedy is way beyond.
His mom follows my stories. I love her.
Ooh. Oh my god, how cute!
I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, so he's DJing. I'm just waiting for a Kyle Cook and Abe collab coming at us soon.
Ew, I mean, this makes me think. Sorry.
Talk about something that would give me such an ick. If my husband came to me and was like, I'm going to start DJing tomorrow. That's my grievance of this week. My grievance of this week, we do a segment, Jenny, called Grievance of the Week. And my grievance of this week is middle-aged male DJs. Instead of like going out and buying a Corvette that they're coming to DJ, I want them to just go about it in the normal way. Like go buy a new suit and tie, go buy a sports car.
Take a ride in a Cybertruck even, you know, and I hate a Cybertruck. Talk about the ick, but I think if I'm going Cybertruck or DJ, I think I'm going Cybertruck.
Wow.
I hate a Cybertruck though.
No, so I think before yesterday's episode, I thought already that Erin came on the show to divorce her husband. I think she was setting it up on season 1, or not season 1, but their first season. And now we're seeing it play out this season.
What made you think that? Like, how did that?
Because that's like a cliche playbook type of thing for housewives to do.
Yeah.
And also just like the way that she presents herself, I feel like she's preparing herself to be single.
I would actually she does not give me the vibe that she likes him.
No.
Like as a person, but I don't know if that's just because she's not warm and fuzzy.
She definitely isn't warm and fuzzy.
That I don't know if I get the vibe that she likes him as a person.
Wait, and then they renewed their vows last season. That's the kiss of death. They're definitely going to get divorced.
On the Housewives and renew vows, that's like 2 strikes.
True. Yeah, she totally set this up.
But while we're speaking about house husbands, did anyone see Pavitt's comeback to Sai on social media? Jen, I didn't even tell you. We reposted his story and he liked our story.
He liked it. I saw it.
I love that.
That was the best comeback in all of house husband history for him to come back and say, I won't be name calling, but I will tell you my favorite fish restaurant.
Free fish. Yeah.
I was like, this is such good marketing on his part. So what a smart guy.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny, while we have you here, we like to play a little game of this or that with our guests, especially our Bravo guests. So I'm going to throw some things at you, and we didn't give you this info ahead of time. So it's going to be fast and furious.
I don't even know what's coming, to be honest.
Okay. Hope I don't say the wrong thing.
There's nothing to say. It's all Bravo related. Our favorite.
Okay. Fun.
So when we do this or that, you just have to pick. What would you choose? This or that? So when it comes down to it, Teresa or Melissa?
Teresa.
Whoa.
That's good for our network.
Good for our network. Paige or Hannah from Summer House?
Paige.
Okay.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Sonia or Luann?
Ooh, that is like evil. That is so mean. Luann.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
She's symbolic in many ways for me. Like her mugshot means something to me.
Okay.
I wear it to bed.
I love it.
I have it framed in my.
I literally have a shirt that I wear to bed with.
I love that.
I was wondering what you meant by that. I was like,
I need to get one of these shirts.
The OGs of the OC or the OGs of New York?
Ooh. New York. They're just too close.
Honestly, I just did. So I did a rewatch of Roni recently, and now I'm on OC. And I will say, I'm having a good time with the OC, but Roni had me belly laughing for the first couple of seasons there, because the thing about those ladies, you can't produce them. You just can't. They're too unhinged already. I can't imagine a producer going up to Sonia and Ramona and saying, "Here, do this." They'd be like, "Huh? No. What are you talking about? Can you get my stuff?" It would just be so chaotic.
Remember in the episode where they were at the fundraiser and Dorinda interrupts and is like, "You didn't thank the correct person." That was so cringe. Okay.
Yeah.
Bluestone Manor or Dubrow Chateau?
Bluestone. And when is this show coming out?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Well, I have a visit to Bluestone Manor coming up.
No. Wait, are you going for the October thing, the haunted thing?
I'm going yes.
Okay, I saw this today and I was like, I don't know if I maybe sent it to Amy, but I was like, wait, someone go on the East Coast because I'm so far away and I won't be able to make it.
Oh my gosh, I need to look at this.
She invited me.
That is amazing. Congrats.
Thank you. I'm like, I was so nervous to talk about it because, like, I don't know, I get like kind of what's it called? Yeah. Like the juju. I don't know.
Yeah. You want it? Wait until you're in the house. Yeah.
I'm knocking on wood like 800 times a day.
100%.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
That's so exciting. I want to ask you when, but we could do that off air. Okay. Erica or Dorit?
Dorit. I can't stand Erica.
Okay, this is very good too. I like how
interesting.
You really don't follow the crowd, and this is great.
No, I don't even know what the crowd. Well, wait, the crowd likes Erica?
Yeah, I think people like her. I think over Dorit.
I was like investigating her after the whole Girardi thing was breaking. I was like, what? Oh hell no! And then it got boring for me, so I stopped.
Yeah. Okay. Better TV friendship dynamic, the Witches of WeHo or the Tres Amigas?
Oh, Witches of WeHo.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Southern Charm or Summer House?
Oh, that's tough. No, I already
Summer House, because even though I've invested more into Southern Charm, like more time. I mean, it's been on longer, but I hate watch Southern Charm.
I also think Southern Charm was so much better back in the day. Like with T-Rab and Catherine, when they were so chaotic.
He climbed out a window to avoid his
baby mama. And she was 21 and he was like 50 something having his first child.
And Greg was just like on so much Adderall and so tiny. Like
So Craig is so funny to me. Like I've loved him, hated him, blocked me, and I feel offended by that. But also, like I don't know. I just
who's blocked you? Who's been your most iconic Bravo blocking?
You know, I really don't get I don't do that much stuff to get blocked. I was shocked that Sandoval didn't block me until maybe a couple months ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
After the whole Kyle Chan and Victoria thing on Up and Adam, Victoria, like, I worry about that girl. She was unhinged and they went on like a blocking spree. But then, so like her and Tom both blocked me at the same time, but then she unblocked me, which is even more unhinged.
Yeah. She had to see what was going down, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's for her. Yeah. Okay. One more. Captain Lee or Captain Sandy?
Oh my God. Ew. Captain Sandy. Definitely Captain Lee.
I thought you were going to say Captain Lee. I was like,
okay. I'm like waiting for you to say like Captain Carrie. Because that would be really hard for me.
I love Captain Glenn.
Yeah, Captain Glenn.
When he called himself a little guy last night, I said, oh my God, you cute little thing, you.
I was horrified when he said that. I'm like, please don't call yourself a little guy
like myself.
What is your, and then this last question before we let you go, what's your favorite Housewife franchise of all time?
Of all time? Love, hate Salt Lake City. It scares me, but I'm like stuck on it. I don't know. I'm invested. Actually, you know what? The receipts proof timeline screenshot scene, they posted one of my thumbnails from my interview with Murillo Bueno, who used to be Jen Shah's assistant and former employee of Heather Gay at Beauty Lab. And he spilled the beans to me in 2 separate interviews about Heather Gay. Amy, you definitely have to go watch those interviews.
Yeah. Do you have? Yeah. Wow.
Like her? No, you're going to hate her.
Also, I do know someone that works on that production said that she's always drunk. Allegedly.
That's not a reason to hate her.
I was not expecting that.
But allegedly always drunk. Just like nonstop whenever we see her drunk.
Oh my God. That kind of makes me like Heather Gay a little bit.
That doesn't make me hate her. That makes me be like, I'd love to have a drink with her.
Yeah. I don't know, Jenny, you're being drunk.
Jenny, where can everyone find you?
Oh, my podcast, Bravo and Blaze with Jenny Blaze, is available wherever you get your podcasts, and also on YouTube at Jenny Blaze. And then on social media, we're Bravo and Blaze.
Amazing. Jenny, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
This is so much fun.
So fun.
We will be back next week with an all new episode. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts at Bonded by Bravo Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you, friends. We'll be back next Thursday with an all new episode. Thanks again, Jenny, at Bravo and Blaze.